Yo, it's Saturday Morning Sitdown.
First of all, this is The Adventures of Gummy Bears. It was made by Disney, sold by CBS for distribution.
Which also, Gummy Bears as a Disney thing, I had no idea that Disney did Gummy Bears until you told me that we should watch this.
I remember it when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite shows. This predated the DuckTales era.
Seeing animation like this, again, some scenes are really well animated, other scenes are not. There was a really big dissonance for me between what I sat down expecting and what I got initially.
The initial episode of Gummy Bears is called
A New Beginning.
The intro song slaps.
Yeah, that intro song is catchy but not infectious.
Well, I think personally, Gummy Bears gave the blueprint for DuckTales when it comes to the theme song.
100%, yeah. You can see, you wouldn't have DuckTales without having Gummy Bears first. There's no question about that.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're using stereotypes throughout the entire episode. They're creating myth in the middle of, because there was no myth behind the Gummy Bears. Let's make them already in like lore. Oh, the Gummy Bears don't really exist. That's fairy tale stuff. They exist. There's no more Gummy Bears anymore. And then the main character who is Kevin, not Kevin, which I thought it was until I looked it up. And his bully there, his actual name is Unwin. Yeah, I was just...
This show is so 80s that it hurts sometimes.
It's the best.
He loses his pack mule.
Well, no, Unwin scares it away. And then Kevin, random
has
kid, to now carry the saddles. So this happens right after you're introduced to the real villain, the Duke, with the ogres. They're ogres.
I thought they were trolls.
No, they're ogres.
For some reason in my head while I was watching it, I kept just thinking troll.
This is all what the hero story is. So literally it's like, okay, Kevin's the protagonist. He meets up with the knight.
Right.
Who is Sir Tuxworth, lounging about, clearly the mentor of Unwin, because they're very similar. When he falls off the mule, that's when the Gummy Bears make their appearance.
Yeah.
When Cubby comes out with the pink.
I can't remember which one was which name. It was way too many names getting thrown to end in ummy.
There's Zummy,
Chummy,
Sunny, Cubby, Tummy, Grummy, and Granny.
Ooh, Grummy. I didn't realize Grummy was one. I like that one.
Grummy is the one that we all like.
Yeah.
Bit of a jerk, but you like him.
I was very disappointed that the Gummy Bears were not gummy. They weren't edible.
They drink the Gummiberry Juice.
Okay.
Anyways, ogres show up.
Because of course they do.
Of course they do. Tuxworth, who isn't a bad guy, he's just lazy because he's like, Kevin, come on, let's go. He's allowing him to get on the horse, but
he tries to save Kevin.
But Kevin is like, I don't need your help. Takes a leg, like a leg of meat, and beats an ogre unconscious. Unwin's like, ah! Bolts it. The last ogre that's about to go after Kevin gets ambushed by a mysterious figure. You find out later it's the Gummies, the Gummy Bears. But they kind of ambush him to protect him. He's unconscious. And then the princess shows up.
Who already knows who Kevin is.
Yeah.
For some reason.
It's the love interest. She's jumping into a batch of hay.
Because she is the true originator of the Guild of Assassins from Assassin's Creed.
When I was watching the show initially, I'm like, oh, okay, Kevin and Karen. Because, you know, that's what I kind of heard. I was wrong. It's Kevin and Callum. And she's met by her father, King Gregor.
Yes, King Gregor Clegane.
Game of Thrones reference. In a Gummy Bears show.
Yep, that's good. That's all you're going to get from me. I don't have much invested in this show.
For King Gregor, he's like, well, princes don't act that way. And well, she's the rebellious princess. By that stereotype. She's like, oh, I'm the princess that's not really a princess. I am more jumping around. I don't believe in the rules.
You're describing literally every princess from everything ever.
No, every Disney princess.
The unsung hero of the Disney princesses, because she's the one that doesn't get mentioned anymore.
You know what? No one talks about Princess Calla.
Yeah.
I'm saying we need
Let's
to bring
back
justice for Calla.
Justice for Calla.
Why isn't she being brought up? If Leia's a Disney princess, she predates Leia.
And on top of that, she was truly created by Disney, not just bought.
Hashtag justice for Calla.
I was waiting. I was like, am I going to say it or are you going to say it?
Hashtag justice for Kevin. Kevin gets knocked out. He wakes up surrounded by the gummy bears, as we've talked about here.
The gummy bears are talking about how does he have this medallion?
Like, no, that's probably a fake. I think Gummy said that. That's probably a fake.
Yeah.
Gummy comes in, the elder gummy bear, and he's like, no, this is real. Kevin wakes up. When that happened, he's like, oh, no, don't be afraid. So then the ogres show up. They all disperse. And then while running, Tummy runs into Kevin. And then he bumps him into the gummy bear house. Because like, oh my god, he's here. And they all disperse in their own house, which is very odd.
Start hiding in different places.
They start hiding.
Even though Kevin's like back behind the table anyways.
Yes. Eventually, Gummy shows up. So he ties him up with a rope because they're so scared of him. And when that happens, Grammy starts to like him. Because you know what? Okay, he seems like a good boy, nice polite boy. You know what? Get him a drink, Tummy. Tummy goes and gets him the Gummiberry Juice. And apparently with humans, Gummiberry Juice makes them extremely super strong. So what happens is he breaks through the ropes easily. Everyone's scared, and then everyone runs under tables and things like that. And then he goes under, hey Tommy, no, I don't want to hurt you guys. He could easily destroy them. But I don't want to hurt you guys, picking up a table. And then Grummy's behind the door. He rips the door off the handle.
Rips it open.
He's like, you guys are my heroes. Why would I hurt you?
I don't want to hurt you. I just want to vandalize your home.
Well, he doesn't know his strength. And then while he's holding the door, it wears off. Then the door falls on him.
Yeah.
Then he needs the gummy berries. Sunny, I think, helps him. The one with the blonde hair. They help up with the door, so he's all good. Gummy takes Kevin to the gummy bear book.
Right.
And then he makes a promise on the book which glows. Cubby and Sunny show him the bird roller coaster thing.
It also made me think, why did Disney never make that into a ride? They could have had a Gummy Bears ride at Disneyland or Disney World, and they never did.
Because it wasn't popular.
I guess so, but it would have been a really cool ride. Like, it could have been similar to, like, Splash Mountain.
Anyway, so they did the roller coaster ride in the Gummy Bear tree.
Where it does that thing that I did in Roller Coaster Tycoon as a kid, where I tried to get the roller coaster to shoot off of one of the rails and onto another rail.
Actually,
and it goes through, like, from one cave to another with a door that flips through.
Well, it's all the trees in the forest, so it's all connected into a
subway
system.
It's really cool.
It is really cool. Also, has seatbelts.
That's a good point. That's safety first. I can't imagine how freaked out Kevin was, especially considering it's medieval times. They don't have roller coasters.
After the ride, and Kevin says, and you guys were scared of me?
That's the thing.
Classic.
And he asked how often to take it. They're like, oh yeah, often.
All the time.
All the time.
Every day.
Every day. It's a daily occurrence.
They find out Gummy and the rest, Gummy, Gummy, Grammy, and Tummy all discuss with the other bears, Cubby and Sunny, about what to do with them. They go, we don't get involved in human affairs anymore. They put your gummy bears, you're supposed to be heroes. He's like, that was the ancient gummy bears. We're not them. In frustration, Kevin's like, I'll do it myself. Rose, in teary-eyed, because these guys are his heroes, teary-eyed, he throws the medallion down. Gummy steals it. Straight up steals it.
Yeah, just kleptomaniac Gummy there.
Gummy straight up steals it. Gummy finds out that the medallion is the lock for the Gummy Bear book. Kevin mentioned when he found it that his grandfather found it in an old town in the mountains.
So probably those ancient gummy bears lived in that town at one point. And
maybe they got destroyed. That's probably something that's going to talk about in Gummy Bear lore later. And then opened up the book, and then in that book it showed if you're Gummy Bears, you care for. So it actually mentioned the exact same stuff that Kevin mentioned.
Yep.
He's like, you protect people, you protect the forest, you protect the humans, this, and this.
Acts of bravery.
Acts of bravery. The initial scene we see the Duke with a catapult.
And then the ogres building the catapult for him, shooting them up. Doesn't work properly, shoots straight in the air. One of the ogres, crushed.
Yeah, but he comes back. He's not dead.
Oh, no, it's like cartoon crushed. Like, he gets crushed by the boulder, standing right next to the Duke.
Kevin tries to take a saw and then he's like, Cabo can't move without wheels. He's actually very smart. He's like, can't move without wheels.
That's true.
So he takes a saw and starts sawing it. However, this is an old hand saw, like an old push saw.
Just trying to...
Yeah, but upside down.
Yeah, that's not going to be very easy.
No, they find him immediately because he's a stupid kid. And literally they chain him up. Anyways, the gummy bears show up to save Kevin. Gummy writes down magic spells from the ancient gummy bear book.
Right.
And then he puts down a invisible spell on Gummy,
Well, I was gonna say, Gummy uses the spell of cost savings.
Yes.
Because that is exactly what happened there. It's just, okay, we're gonna turn this character invisible, and then he's gonna move throughout this entire field by himself.
Well, yeah, but then it didn't work the best.
No,
and then he's this white.
Their budget came back.
Yeah, the budget came back, and then he reappeared, then disappeared again. Then he runs to Kevin. Actually, it's thrown to him. He almost doesn't catch it. He drinks it, breaks off the chains, and then he threw the ogres that were about to hurt his friend Gummy.
Yep.
Literally to where the catapult was being stationed. The Gummy Bears have to make a plan because now they find that the Duke is about to throw a catapult and it destroys a mountain. And he throws off a tar
in his crimson
ball.
curtain.
In his crimson curtain, exactly. And a tar ball goes down. And when the tar ball, it seals the door. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna use one of the stones and destroy it. And in the process, the Gummy Bears now, with Kevin, start to handle it.
They're starting to try and like stop the catapult from moving forward.
Yes. So
stop it from flinging rocks, and it does fling rocks, and it does destroy part of the castle. Yeah, and like hits one of the towers.
Yeah.
And breaks down.
But what happens is that the Gummy Bears are distracting. Then Kevin, with his own Gummiberry Juice vial, drinks it. Then he's supposed to destroy the catapult.
However,
that's
the Duke intercepts and ends up getting the Gummiberry Juice.
Yes.
And now we get Super Duke.
The Duke gets super strong. He starts just throwing the rocks at the castle. But this is actually where it gets interesting because he's like, I don't need no catapult. I'm the catapult. And when he's carrying the rock like that, the Gummiberry Juice wears out for a very short amount of time, especially in humans.
Well, they mentioned even during that point that it does only last for 1 minute.
Yeah, that's why Kevin didn't drink immediately. He wanted to make sure he was there so he could destroy it. The Duke crushes himself with his own boulder.
And then the boulder gets launched with the Duke
into this is the oddest thing. He goes over the wall.
Yeah.
Into a fireplace, gets launched out of the fireplace and out of the castle.
It's so ridiculous.
It's just the most ridiculous shot I've ever seen. And then Kevin takes the brake off. So then the catapult is now rolling down a hill.
Yep.
And when that's happening, it crashes into the door that is stuck with the tar.
Opens the door.
Then they think Kevin might be dead. He's not, he just comes out and survives.
He was in the water, just comes out, all the debris in the water.
So he looks like the hero.
Gummy Bears jettisoned prior to that, and now they're just chilling off to the side, back in the forest.
And then Kevin essentially says, he's about to mention the Gummy Bears. He's like, oh, I swore myself to secrecy. I wouldn't tell.
Everyone thinks that Kevin's like the hero. He's like, I'm the hero, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was trying to destroy it, and then he starts to realize he's going to reveal the Gummy Bear secret.
Well, no, I was a prisoner, and I was just trying to escape.
Yeah.
And I was trying to escape. I'm no hero. And that's what makes him a hero, because he did do it all himself. The episode ends with the Gummy Bears finally adding their own chronicles into the Gummy Bear book for saying, today, they helped a boy save the kingdom.
What it comes down to for me, in terms of the ratings, my initial, I was going to say that this one does not hold up. That was my initial thoughts. However, after getting through the episode and watching it, and with it winning me over, I gotta say it's for its time. I think it's good for its time, but it's definitely for its time. If you don't have the stomach for watching something that has the pacing of an 80s show, and it does. It's slow. It doesn't have a whole lot necessarily going on. This could easily be condensed down into like a 12-minute kind of first half, kind of like how Recess did, especially if it was done nowadays to get through that amount of story, or just pack it with more things. If you're okay with that, this is definitely worth a watch. And if you got younger kids, I would say throw it on for them.
Well, yeah, I would say, I agree with you. It's good for its time.
Yeah.
That's what the rating I would give it too. But also, I would say this should be, you mentioned earlier, in an earlier episode about making a playlist for your kids.
Yeah.
This is all for it. Because one of those things, it's good. It's a 22-minute episode. It's not great, but the kids will like it. Because
That's true.
I liked it when I was a kid.
I never watched it, so
yeah, exactly. So
coming in fresh, I can tell you that it was enjoyable, even for me as an adult.
And I would rather watch a show like this with my kids compared to Hey Arnold. Every time I bring up bad things, Hey Arnold will come up. For next week's show, it's gonna be a special. Who are you gonna call?
The real Ghostbusters.